What if I told you that understanding this secret language isn't just for tech nerds? It's the key to saving thousands of dollars, avoiding digital heartbreak, and finally matching your needs to the perfect machine. Today, we aren't just talking about specs. We are going on a journey through the hierarchy of the Silicon Kingdom. From the humble entry-level servants to the overpriced kings and the new AI-powered wizards, we're decoding the heartbeat of your digital life. Let's begin our journey at the foundation. In every society, there are the essential workers who keep the day-to-day operations running smoothly without fanfare. In the Intel ecosystem, this is the Core i3. For years, marketing has tricked us into thinking entry-level means bad. That's a massively expensive misconception. Think of the Core i3 not as cheap, but as focused. It's the reliable compact car of the CPU world, a Honda Civic, if you will. It's not going to win a drag race against a Ferrari, but it will get you to work every single day, reliably, efficiently, and with great gas mileage. The modern Core i3, with its 4 to 6 cores, is a marvel for the everyday user. It is built specifically for the tasks that 90% of people actually do 90% of the time. Are you browsing with 10 tabs open while streaming Spotify and typing in a Word document? The i3 doesn't even break a sweat. It handles high-definition video perfectly and can even manage light gaming, think League of Legends or Minecraft. Where people get into trouble with the i3 is mismatched expectations. If you try to use this compact car to tow a boat, say, rendering a 4000 video or trying to play the latest Call of Duty on max settings, you're going to stall the engine. It struggles under heavy, sustained loads because it lacks the raw horsepower of its bigger siblings. But here's the secret code you need to know. Look at the suffixes. If you see a U at the end of an i3 in a laptop, that means ultra-low power. It's designed to prioritize your battery life over raw speed perfect, for students running from lecture hall to lecture hall. If you're building a budget desktop and see an F, like Core i3-13100F, it means it has no integrated graphics. It's cheaper, but it demands you have a separate graphics card. It's these little details that turn a budget buy into a smart buy. Moving up the ladder, we find the crowd favorite, the Core i5. If the CPU market were a popularity contest, the i5 would win every year. Why? Because it sits perfectly in the Goldilocks zone. Not too expensive, not too weak, it's just right. The i5 is the versatile all-rounder. It's the sports sedan of this world. It's practical enough to drive your kids to school during the week, but it has enough horsepower under the hood to tear up the racetrack on the weekend. With modern versions sporting up to 14 cores, the i5 has become the go-to weapon of choice for two very different groups of people: serious gamers and professional multitaskers. For gamers, the i5 is often all you need. Most games rely heavily on the speed of just a few cores rather than needing dozens of them. An i5 often delivers 95% of the gaming performance of a much more expensive i7 or i9, leaving you extra cash to spend where it matters more for gaming, the graphics card. But here is a fascinating quirk of standard technological evolution. A modern Core i5 will absolutely destroy an older Core i7. It's a reminder that technology doesn't stand still. Architecture gets smarter and more efficient. When shopping for an i5, you'll often see the K suffix on desktop parts. This is for the tinkerers. K means unlocked. Intel is essentially handing you the keys to the engine and saying, if you think you can make it go faster without blowing it up, go ahead. It allows for overclocking, pushing the chip beyond its factory-rated speeds. On the laptop side, you might see, these are high-performance chips that try to balance significant power without melting through the thin chassis of a modern notebook. Now we enter serious territory. The Core i7 is the high-performance workhorse. If the i5 is a sports sedan, the i7 is a heavy-duty pickup truck tailored for towing massive loads. Or perhaps a luxury grand tourer designed for effortless speed over long distances. The i7 is designed for people who don't just do one thing at a time. They do everything at once. We are talking about power users. These are the creators who are rendering a 10-minute 4K YouTube video in the background, while simultaneously editing photos in Photoshop, all while hosting a live stream. The i7, with up to 20 cores in recent generations, doesn't choke under this pressure because it has more lanes on its highway to manage the traffic. This is also where we see fierce rivalry. For a long time, Intel's i7 was the undisputed king of this tier. But recently, you might have heard whispers of Ryzen. AMD's Ryzen 7 series has become a massive thorn in Intel's side. often offering similar multitasking performance while running cooler and cheaper. If you're looking at high-end gaming laptops, you'll see the HX suffix here. HX is Intel effectively shoving a desktop-class processor into a laptop body. It delivers maximum speed, but be warned, these laptops are often heavy, hot, and have battery life that can be measured in minutes rather than hours when unplugged. It's a glorious display of raw power over practicality. At the very top of the consumer mountain sits the Core i9. This is the flagship powerhouse. The Titan, honestly. For 99% of the people watching this, buying a Core i9 is purely an ego purchase. And that's okay, sometimes we just want the best. But practically speaking, this chip is designed for extreme professionals. We are talking about people doing 3D modeling for architecture firms, compiling massive codebases for software development, or editing 8K raw video footage. With up to 24 cores, it is a monster. But it's a monster that needs to be fed. It draws immense amounts of power and generates tremendous heat. If you put a Core i9 in a budget computer case with weak cooling, it will actually perform worse than an i7 because it has to slow itself down to avoid melting. Interestingly, despite being the top Intel chip, it currently faces a humbling reality in the gaming world. MDSX 3D chips often beat the mighty i9 in pure gaming because they use a clever piece of technology called 3D cache, essentially stacking extra memory right on top of the processor for lightning-fast access. The i9 is incredible, but it's a stark reminder that raw power isn't always the smartest solution. Just when we thought we understood the naming scheme, Intel changed the game. Enter the Core Ultra. This isn't just a faster chip. It's a philosophical shift. We are in the AI era, and the Core Ultra is Intel's answer to it. These processors found mostly in premium new laptops aren't just about CPU cores anymore. They include a new component called an NPU, a neural processing unit. Think of the NPU as a specialized brain that only cares about artificial intelligence tasks. Before, if you wanted to blur your background on a Zoom call, your main CPU had to do that heavy lifting, which used up a lot of battery and made your laptop hot. The Core Ultra offloads that task to the NPU, which can do it efficiently without breaking a sweat. Right now, it's a bit of a buzzword. It's future-proofing. You might not need an NPU today for your daily emails, but as more apps start using on-device AI for generative photo editing or real-time language translation, the Core Ultra will be ready. It's Intel planting a flag in the future. Now let's take a sidestep into the corporate office. Have you ever noticed that your work-issued laptop sometimes has a special sticker that says vPro? vPro isn't a separate type of processor like an i5 or i7. It's a feature set layered on top of them. It's the business class upgrade. If you're a regular home user, vPro is completely useless to you. In fact, you should avoid paying extra for it. But for an IT manager in a company with 5,000 employees, vPro is a godsend. It includes things like active management technology, AMT. This allows IT support to remotely wake up your laptop, fix a software bug, and turn it back off, all while you're asleep halfway across the world. It also includes total memory encryption, TME, which locks down sensitive corporate data at the hardware level. It's the bodyguard of the CPU world, boring for the regular user, but essential for the enterprise. Not every computer needs to run Cyberpunk 2077. Sometimes, you just need a brain that can sip energy through a tiny straw and never overheat. Enter the Intel Atom. Atom chips are the ultra-low power masters. You rarely see them in standard laptops anymore, but they are everywhere around you. That digital menu board at McDonald's? Probably running an Atom. The self-checkout kiosk at the grocery store? Atom. Security camera systems? Atom. These chips are designed to prioritize long operational life and absolute minimal heat output. Many don't even need fans. They are the silent, invisible workers of the Internet of Things, IoT infrastructure. We must take a moment to pay respects to the fallen soldiers, Intel Celeron and Intel Pentium. As of 2023, these iconic names have been officially discontinued, replaced simply by Intel Processor for the budget tier, but their history is fascinating. The Celeron was once the absolute weakest link. Originally, Celeron chips were actually just high-end chips that came off the factory line with defects. Instead of throwing them away, Intel would disable the broken parts, slow them down, and sell them cheap. It was silicon recycling. For years, they were painfully slow, the source of much of that keyboard smashing frustration we talked about earlier. Pentium was a small step up nostalgic for those of us who remember playing 90s PC games. In their final years, they were decent enough for grandma's email machine or a very basic school laptop. But eventually, the baseline needs of modern computing browsing the complex modern web. Running Windows 11 just became too heavy for these old architectures. They were retired because they could no longer keep up with the minimum acceptable standard of the modern digital world. Finally, we reached the true giants, Intel Xeon. You will likely never own a Xeon. And you probably shouldn't. These are server-class titans. While a Core i9 might have 24 cores, modern Xeons can have up to 120 cores. They are designed to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 5 years straight without ever being turned off. They power the internet. When you watch Netflix, your request is being handled by Xeon or its rival, AMD processors in a data center. They use special error correcting code, ECC, memory to ensure that not even a stray cosmic ray can flip a bit and cause a crash. They are about massive throughput handling millions of tiny requests simultaneously. They are the heavy freight trains of the computing world, not necessarily fast off the line but unstoppable once they get moving. So, we've toured the Silicon Kingdom. From the efficient i3 to the Titan Xeon and the new AI-powered Ultra. What's the lesson here? The most expensive processor is not always the best processor for you. It's about matching the tool to the job. Buying a Core i9 just to browse Facebook is like buying a jet engine to power a lawnmower. Expensive, loud, and completely unnecessary. Conversely, trying to edit a feature film on a Celeron is like trying to dig a swimming pool with a spoon. Don't let the marketing stickers intimidate you. Ask yourself, what do I actually do with my computer? Be honest. If you're mostly writing and watching videos, save your money and embrace the i3 or i5. Use the safe cache for a better screen or a nicer keyboard, things you'll actually notice. I'm curious now that you know the hierarchy. Which brain do you think is currently powering the device you're watching this on? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see the variety of hardware our community uses. Wishing you all great health, smooth computing, and zero blue screens of death. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the tech that runs our world, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our next journey. Until next time.